So how do you prepare for media interviews during a time of crisis? Here's a little secret for you. There is no difference in how you prepare for an interview or a press conference during a crisis as when it's a soft, easy issue like a ribbon cutting. One big but, though. The but is, with a crisis, you have no margin for error. In a regular media scenario, if your message is off a little, your soundbite's not quite right, doesn't really matter. In a crisis, you can be on message 99% of the time, make one 5-second statement off message in an hour press conference, and you can destroy your reputation and destroy billions of dollars of market cap from your corporation. So that's the big difference. But the fundamentals are the same. Brainstorm on message points. Come up with your top 3. Practice your message. Have sound bites for each message point and deliver the sound bites. And make sure you don't have sound bites accidentally coming out of your mouth. Case in point, Tony Hayward, former CEO of BP, looked good on camera. Sounded good. Great voice. Had good head of hair. He had good messages. He delivered his messages well. But what did he do wrong? He violated the fundamental rules of repeating negatives of reporters and having sound bites that were off message. Mr. Hayward, will you be making good on all the lawsuits filed against you? Yes, absolutely. We want to make everybody whole. What about the frivolous lawsuits? Well, it's America. Of course there'll be frivolous lawsuits. Oops. It's America. Of course there will be frivolous lawsuits. That's an attack. It's an absolute, referencing something well known in pop culture. Seemingly defensive. So it was a quote, a soundbite. Reporters were going to use it completely off message. It made him look like he was attacking the very people his company had harmed. Same as, I want my life back. Now, if you watch the press conference where Tony Hayward said, I want my life back, he looked good. He sounded good. He said all the right things. He expressed sympathy for the people who had been killed and who had been harmed economically. He said all the right things. But in a crisis, it's not good enough to say all the right things 95% of the time, even 99% of the time. You have to be on mark all the time. And at some point, you're going to have the discipline to rehearse. Your head of public relations, investor relations, legal counsel cannot simply send you memos and tell you what to say. They're going to have to practice with you. You're going to have to videotape it, whether it's with a big production crew or a cell phone in the back of a car. You're going to have to rehearse and essentially edit out the stupid off-message comments like, I want my life back. And that is the key to crisis communications. Now, obviously, you don't have a full day to rehearse. If there's a chemical explosion at 7 a.m. and you're at the plant at 7:23 and TV stations are showing up at 7:30, you don't have a lot of time. And that's why you need to practice this in advance. You need to know exactly where your weaknesses are. You know, if you have any kind of a factory that manufactures chemicals, energy, that at some point there could be problems, there could be explosions, there could be injuries, there could be deaths. You need to practice that on video on a regular basis before the incident ever happens. That way you are prepared to talk to the media during a crisis.